can Bitcoin get to $150,000 by the end of December? Maybe. We've got the prediction to share with you, some charts to back up why it might actually not be that crazy. Let's get into it. So this comes from Plan B. He says October, Bitcoin 70K, November 100K, up next 150K in December. Now, this is part of his dots here, very famous Plan B dots. Now, he goes on to make further predictions about how things could play out over 2025, into 2026, and into 2027, okay? So I do not agree with most of his thoughts here, but I think that we could see 125, maybe even 150K as a real potential move for Bitcoin by the end of the month, and I'll show you why that could be the case here in just a minute, okay? More on that in a second. But I wanted to share a few of his ideas here, talking about crypto people and companies return to the US, blah, blah, blah. Bitcoin goes to $200,000 in January. That'd be crazy if it happens. I'm here for it, man. Let's go. Power law crew sells. Bitcoin goes down to 150K. Bitcoin legal tender in Bhutan, Argentina, Dubai. Bitcoin goes to 300K. Trump, US start building strategic reserve. Bitcoin goes to 400K. Other countries, except the EU, of course, because of course they're not going to do that. Join the rat race. Bitcoin 500K. AI starts using Bitcoin to autonomously arb TradFi 600K. July, December, face melting FOMO. Bitcoin reps to $1 million per coin by the end of next year. I really don't think that's going to happen. I don't. I'm just sharing this because this is his whole sort of prediction here, although I think that we could see a very much higher price for Bitcoin by the end of the month. I'm not so much on board with the rest of it. I would love to see it happen, and no shade on Plan B by any means. I would love to see all this happen. I'm just not sure it's going to play out like this. But man, if it does, holy crap, because I'm not selling my Bitcoin anyways, I'll love to see it at $1 million per coin. Yo. Distribution phase starts, Bitcoin back to $500,000. 2027 bear market comes in, Bitcoin bottoms at $200,000 a coin. Imagine that, guys. The next bull market, the next bear market bottom could be at $200,000 per coin. Love it. Love it. This is the kind of bull posting I'm all about, but let's see how much that matches up with the potential for reality, I think, in the short term. We got some charts to share around that. I wanted to share these two charts as well from Titan of Crypto. Bitcoin aiming for $127,000 on a inverse head and shoulders pattern here. Okay, this is a huge beast of a pattern here. Anyway, the breakout target for this is $127,000. Okay, he also shared this great chart here. $128,000 by the end of the year. A bull pennant is forming up on the Bitcoin daily chart, gearing up for a breakout. If it plays out, BTC could soar past $120,000. Now, look, nobody's got a crystal ball, right? But I could really see Bitcoin ending December somewhere between like 120, even as much as 150K, which sounds crazy right now as the big number. But historically, that's what Bitcoin has done. And I've got more on that for you in just a second. But first, if you are a cryptocurrency trader, guys, check out BitUnix. These guys have a crazy deal going on right now. Most importantly, BitUnix is a no KYC exchange. That means you can come over here, enjoy your privacy. They're not going to take your KYC, no VPN needed. You can just come over here and trade. Okay, no BS, just go, start an account, and trade. Link down below that you can use to start your account. And here's the sweet kicker for you. If you deposit $2,000 or more, you're getting $200 back. That's awesome. If you do a lot of trading, or even a little bit of trading, you start earning some Solana. In fact, you can get up to 6 free Solana deposited into your account. That's awesome, right? Now, there are smaller deposit bonuses too. If you just want to put in $500, you get $50 back. So if you just want to test out the exchange, I've been using this to do most of my trading recently, by the way. I've got a dog with hat trade going, an Ethereum trade going right now over here on BitUnix. It's great, deep liquidity, loads of coins to trade. Link down below in the description where you can get started today and get these sweet deposit and trading bonuses exclusively by using that link. Okay, so that's that. Bitcoin monthly returns. I want to talk about this right here because this is very, very interesting. So usually in December, okay, we see massive gains for Bitcoin, particularly in the Bitcoin halving year, 2016, 30% gains. 2020, 46% gains. You can see Q3 in general, or Q4 in general is usually very bullish. We're currently in Q4 in case you hadn't noticed. October, November have been very bullish months. December tends to be a very bullish month as well, okay? So let's just keep that in mind. On average, during these years, you are seeing returns of like 30 to 40%. Crazy. Big numbers here, folks, okay? So on that thesis, that from what Plan B said, from what Titan of Crypto said, from the Bitcoin monthly returns, how likely is any of this actually to happen? And is this sort of realistic to assume that Bitcoin could see any of this happening? Well, let's go back for a wee bit of a history lesson here. Look here. This is the previous breakout here. So this is starting in about mid-December 2020, and over about a 4-week period, Bitcoin bumped by 120% before seeing a major correction come in. In January, by the way, man, if that just plays out again, it'd be so crazy, wouldn't it? Pump right through December, dump either around the holidays or like around New Year's, or just at the start of January we start dumping. That'd be crazy if it plays out like that. Of course, altcoins can pump during that time. See yesterday's video for the explanation as to why that could be the case. Very interesting. Now, this is, of course, over 4 weeks. Back in 2016, it happened over about 8 weeks. So, you know, it just gives you an idea of potential time frames here. Now, the pump obviously started at the start of November. We're currently 4 weeks into the pump. Gosh, it's been a long month, hasn't it? I feel like the last month's been like almost like a year in crypto. It's been so nuts, it's been so busy, it's been so crazy at the price action moving. Bull markets are exhausting. I'll be looking forward to this one being over. Not too soon, obviously. Give me another 6 months crypto. That'd be fantastic. Maybe another 12 if we get a double bubble again. Anyway, this would represent a 100% move, okay? If we had a 100% move over about 8 weeks approximately, so right up to the end of the month, a 100% move would get us to $150,000 Bitcoin, which is not crazy. Bitcoin historically has made these kind of moves on the all-time high breakout. Okay, in fact, I mean, I know, the asset's much bigger, but it's only gone up 40% so far from the all-time high breakout. Not that big of a move, considering, and I know it broke 100K, it's all very, very exciting, but a move up to, well, 120K would be a 60% move from the high, and if we did get up to 150K, it's a 100% move, approximately. Now let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this right here. So, look, if we get any of these targets, and there will be a correction, of course, at some point, so it is worth keeping that in mind, okay? But if we get the target here for the 150K, right? That's Plan B's prediction, 150K in December. Great. That's 46% higher for Bitcoin, which is generally in line with what you can potentially see in a December in a Bitcoin halving year, okay? And again, guys, these are just historical models we're working on right here in predictions. No one's got a crystal ball. This may or may not happen. Just keep that in mind, please, okay? If we get up to 150K and we see a 30% dump, because I'm telling you what, there will be a dump. There will be a dump. Global M2 is going to go down. It's total money supply. We talked about that in yesterday's video. And after this kind of a run, you're going to have a dump at some point anyway. There's going to be a correction. There's going to be massive profit taking, okay? It will happen. It always happens. You should expect it to happen. You should expect there to be multiple 20 to 30% corrections during the bull run, okay? Normal. If we get to 150 and we dump 30%, it brings us back down to 100K, which is crazy, man. Now, if we only get up to, for example, some of these lower targets, right? So let's say the average December pump in a Bitcoin halving year is around 35%. Well, that gets us up to about 140K, which would be a funny level to get to because everyone's going to expect 150. We only go to 140, and then it corrects down massively, catching everybody with their pants down, essentially. 30% dump in that situation brings us back down to around 97K, which you can see is an important area of price support right in here. Okay, fantastic. Now, if Titan of Crypto's ideas play out here and we only get up to around 120, 125K, something like that, 128, well, that's about a 20 to 25% move, which again is relatively in line with what we could expect in a December and a Bitcoin halving year, and what we could expect with a Bitcoin all-time high breakout with the kind of upside volatility that usually accompanies that, and a downturn on that around 30% brings us back down to around here, which is a pretty key area of price support, and let's say the 85K zone, okay? Not so much on the weekly, but on the daily, there's some interesting support in that zone. Or maybe it only brings us back down to 90K, right? We don't pump quite as high, we don't dump quite as low when the dump does come. Interesting food for thought, right? Interesting food for thought. Will any of this play out? Well, it's hard to see. But those are the models for you, and I could see this playing out. Doesn't mean it's definitively going to happen, but there's the models for you. Let me know what you think. Can we get up to $125,000 or even as high as $150,000 in December? And if we do, are we going to get a 30% dump in January? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching. I'll see you back in the next one. Peace.